Hey y'all, good morning, it's me, Niecy Lynn. I've been promising y'all this stocking tutorial and I'm gonna jump on here this morning. It's so early, so I sound like I got a 10-pack a day habit. But really it's just allergies and I haven't had my coffee all the way yet, so sorry about that. I put on some red lipstick to try to make me look more awake. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, but today we're going to do the tutorial on the Blackbird Designs stockings. I told y'all that was going to be my Pandemania project, was getting especially some patriotic ones done because I wanted to do a little like patriotic stocking tree. And so I have this one completely FFO'd and this guy here completely FFO'd. Now this one, I put my initials in, but for some reason, I completely forgot to put the year in here. So I'll have to come back and just back stitch the year here on the back side. So it'll be here. Because in this one, I underlined my initials, D, L, and the W right here, and then oh, I'm looking at it backwards. And then the year is right here. Real tiny, but it's there. I like to date and initial, you know, everything on my work. I don't know why, but I do. And if I don't, my husband makes him nuts. James Williams have to say something about it. So I'm also gonna put a little note down in the toe of these that says that I stitched them during the quarantine. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with my shirt. I don't know. Sorry, yike. That, so I'll know that these were stitched during the crazy weird times so that years later when I look back on it, I'll remember. So the problem with doing the tutorial was I don't know how to edit videos. So when I start a video, y'all, it runs through. It's one and done. I don't know how to stop and start anything or edit anything. So I had to wait till I had enough stockings so that I could just kind of show each phase of how I went through it. So that's the reason it's taken so long. So sorry about all that. Here we go. So each, no matter if you buy 1 month or all 12 months, each one comes with this page here, finishing instructions. And Alma and Barb give really, really good finishing instructions on theirs. And it tells you to cut out this stocking template. You have to have, or you need to have a stocking template for the interfacing, okay? I just used what I had. It's probably not, theirs just says fusible interfacing. This says ultra lightweight. It's just what I had in my stash. I think I had it from when I made a little witch doll a couple of years back. That's all I can figure out I would have used it for. So it is ultra lightweight. It probably could use to be lightweight, but it works. So far it's worked. So just, if you have lightweight, it just says fusible interface and it doesn't say what weight. This is what I had, so this is what I used. So you need to make your template, and they just make one, okay? They just did one template, okay? Here we go. Like this. And most y'all are probably wise enough that you can cut them out this way and then flip it and cut them out this way. I've tried that and I get all out of kilter when I'm flipping them this way and flipping them that way, and I end up with too many, because your interfacing has, which I guess I should assume that y'all have never used this before, like me, y'all are non-sewers, okay? Interfacing has a smooth side and a bumpy side. The bumpy side is what sticks. It's like the glue. The bumpy side is the glue, and that's what sticks to your fabric. So you have to have them turned both ways because you need it to stick to the wrong side of your stitching and you need it to stick to the wrong side of your backing, okay? So when I'm trying to flip that thing this way, this way, this way, this way, because I can never focus and pay attention long enough to make sure I've got the right amount of everything I need, it's just easier for me to make two. So I know I have enough going one way and enough going the other way to finish them out, okay? So I have enough of stitch piece back ends and enough of like whatever your backing fabric is backing. So that will work. And I think I got a hair in my lipstick. Well, I'm all over the place this morning. Oh, and look at them bags under my eyes. Lord have mercy. But this should work for you if you're one of those smart people that can just flip it and keep track of things like that in your head. Go. I'm not. So you need to cut out however many you make. If you do the book, each one of the little booklets each month comes with 3 patterns. This one here I have not done yet. It's still on my to-do for my patriotic, but I have not done it yet. It had the most stitching and it wasn't all red and blue. So I didn't get it finished yet. I didn't get it stitched. So that one is still on my to-do. So if you do like 1 month's worth, you'll need 3 one way and 3 the other way. So like this one has 2 going this way and 2 going this way. But if you cut 3 and 3, you'll have enough of it to work. So you cut out your little pieces of your backing of your little socks, okay? So you're just gonna cut them out of your pellon here. And you have that little stack. And then you're gonna iron them on to the back side, okay? So here is what it'll look like after you iron it on. Here it is ironed on to your backing. And here it is ironed on to your stitching. It doesn't have to be exact or perfect. I don't know, maybe it does, but when I do it, it doesn't. I just kind of iron it on there. And it's mainly to give it some stability and to keep it that way your stitches won't snag out on the front. It kind of holds it on the back and stabilizes it. That way your stitch, if something was to kind of grab a hold of one of your stitches, it wouldn't like snag your thread all out or anything. So when I did these, I did what Vonna said and I forgot on these. So here you go, y'all. These are folded under immediately before I folded them under and then ironed my interfacing on. I was thinking about doing my tutorial with these and I forgot. So then I just press this down and take that, there's that sticky side. And you can just put it on there and iron that little scrap on there and that'll hold it down. That way you don't have to have any like stitches going across the front to hold your thing down. Now in theory, it would hold it down when you make this, when you make your side seams, but it might not lay as smooth. So I just came back and on each one of these, did another little piece of the interfacing to hold my top seam down like this. So here it is, top seam held down. And this one, I would just fold it down, take that little sticky side, and I'll have these finished in this week's video, fully finished out, so y'all can see them that it all did work. But I didn't know any other way to do this. So this one, I would just fold it down and then iron that little scrap on there. You just need a little scrap. I went back and cut out little scraps off of this because y'all know I get distracted and so then when it's all, your little ends will that way be like that already before you even sew it up. They're pressed down with that interfacing has seamed them down and you won't have to stitch it, if that makes any sense. They're already like this without a seam going across your stitching on the front or this on the back. So now I will show it like I did it, okay? So here it is after I went back and added that little extra piece ironed on. See, I just flapped the top down. So here's the front, and I just folded this top seam back and used that little extra scrap that I showed y'all, like this. This is that little piece right there. And it's just sticking it down. That way I don't have to have any kind of a stitch running across here at all. I could have come down further and left myself more room at the top. I don't know how you can leave however much room at the top you want. In theory, you could put a name or anything up there, but I'm just making these for a little decoration. So I just flapped it down pretty close. Same thing on this one. I folded that top edge down and then just ironed that little scrap on there to hold my top edge down, so that then I have a clean top edge without having any seam, any stitches, any seam stitches going across here to show. So these guys, so when I get to this phase like this, here they are. And you would normally think you just stitch these together. But if you watch Vanna's tutorial where she's doing the, I think it's the shepherd's bush stockings that are so beautiful. And of course, you know how I feel about Vanna's finishing. It's perfection. She suggests using a piece of white fabric. Well, I thought this was kind of white, but when I pulled it out, it's really kind of an ecru color. It's as close to white as I have. So when I go to sew these up, I get them matched up here. Kind of be sure that your stitch pieces are matching each other up a little bit. And like I said, here again, I don't think, in my mind, this has not got to be, your top edges just have to match up. And beyond that, it ain't gotta be exact. And then I put this other piece of white in here, okay? I put it on my back side. It would fit tighter if you put it on your front side, but it does make your stitches show up better. I have thought about not doing it and just putting a piece of white paper, like white cardstock thick paper down in there, cut out like a template like this, and push it down in there. I think it would probably work the same, but I have not given that a shot yet. So if you want to give that a go, let me know how that works out. But I don't worry about this being all the way up at the top. I drop it down a little bit because with the top folded down, it's not going to show much anyway. And I just need it to give a good white background for my stitches. So then I've got these three pieces together, okay? I've got my stitch piece and my backing fabric, and I've got them good sides together, okay? Good sides together here. So here is my interfacing out, and then just a piece of white fabric, which mine isn't really white. So you've got a stack of 3 things here. And then you want to go and pin them together, okay? I know some of y'all gonna faint at the way I pin things together. Now y'all know I have told y'all time and time again, I'm not a sewer. I do not have any sewing training. I bought myself a sewing machine 15 years ago, and my husband bought me a new one 2 or 3 years ago. And I just made costume pieces and little toy things I wanted to make. I have no clue what I'm doing. I just know how to make it go. I intend to take a class sometime or get a good book or on how to do something or something, but it works. So here I have these pinned together. These are my 3 pieces that I just showed y'all here. I pin them together. I pin like this because I want to be able to see out from here, okay? I'm going to use this as a gauge, the edge of the interfacing, and the instructions tell you, it tells us to make our template, cut our faceable interfacing, and it tells you to go ahead and cut out the pieces. That makes me nervous. I'm not that skilled. It's easier for me not to cut it out yet. I'm just gonna leave my 3 big blocks of fabric like this because I don't want to have to, and this is the one I screwed up too, y'all. Remember I stitched them this one and another one way too close together. So I'm probably gonna have to sew a few of my stitches right there. It's okay, it's okay, no worries. So I don't cut them out yet because I don't have that skill level. I'm not a skilled stitcher. I don't want to have to try to not miss, okay? So I don't cut anything out yet. I take and then I will make a little mark. I'll show you on the next one. You can mark out from your here about 1/4 inch. It tells you to cut out a 1/4 inch allowance and leave a 1/2 inch allowance at the toe, okay? I don't want to have to worry about then sewing over and messing something up, and that's too much pressure for me. I can't with that. So I just take, right now, I just have mine in some big blocks of fabric, okay? And my interfacing is gonna be my guide here. And then I'm just gonna take and come out from here, and you can even lay your little template on if that makes you, if you feel better laying the template on, but your template is basically the same size as your interfacing, right? And just come out from here, lay your little thing on here, and just start doing you some little marks that tell you, hey, this is my 1/4 inch, okay? Right here. That's gonna give you some kind of an idea where they're talking about on here. But I don't cut mine yet. I can't, that's too much pressure for me because I know my skill level is not there. And then they want you to pin those pieces together and then sew them together. I just sew mine together and then I cut mine out because that's, like I said, that's too much pressure for me. This is gonna seem super short and everything, but this way y'all can stop it and go do a step and come back and stop it and do it if it helps at all. If it helps at all and you can use it at all. But I can't go ahead and cut those pieces out and then sew them out. That's too much pressure for me and too scary because I don't have that skill level. That's not a big enough margin, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch. That's not enough for me to know that I can stitch them up and not totally screw it up and then ruin all my stitching that I've made. I don't want that. I stitched these because I thought their designs were beautiful. I took the time to stitch them. I don't want to ruin them. Now, they don't have to be perfect. I'm not that person. Everything doesn't have to be perfection. Y'all know, I told y'all before, Anna else ain't got nothing on me. I can let it go. I really can. If there is an error in a stitch, I can usually just stitch around it, let it go, stitch over it, whatever, and not worry about it. But when you're sewing something up, you could destroy it and it not be salvageable. Or for me, people who can sew could probably salvage it, but that ain't me. So I can't go that. So I have mine pinned like this here, okay? They're just pinned in this stack. And then I go in there and I sew them. So you can see I've just sewed around the outside of my interfacing. And this is where their cut line, I kind of had marked out where their cut line was supposed to be because they tell you about 1/4 to 1/2 inch So, and I probably could have got a ruler and that would have made a little more sense, but you know, you can just take your pencil and just mark around it, and that'll give you some idea, a guideline of where they wanted you to cut it out, okay? So then after I've stitched it up, then I'm gonna take my scissors and cut right there where they wanted me to cut before. That way I don't, because y'all, fabric shifts and stuff when you're sewing it up. It does. And that is not enough of a margin for me to try to hold everything in place and not have one piece of it totally sticking outside. I just don't have that skill set yet. I hope to have it someday, but I don't have it yet. I can get it done, but I can't do it just exactly like their directions say because I'm not that skilled. So this is the Denise way. This is the Niecy Lynn way, the Denise Lynette way to get this done, the Niecy Lynn way to get this done. So my mom would say, Denise Lynette, this is the Niecy Lynn way to get this fixed because I cannot have that much pressure on me because I don't want to mess these up because their designs are beautiful and these stockings are beautiful and I don't want to mess it up. So this is a way I can do this without having to die. I mean, honestly, if I had to cut them out and sew them up, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because I can't, I would be too scared to sew them up. So this is the way I finish these out and I don't have to be too scared to finish them. Because from here, and I guess I should have brought my scissors in here and turned this one, but from here, I'll just cut around here, around where they said cut it out anyway. And then, you know, you'll just clip in here a little bit, here, 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 make your little notches in so it'll turn a little easier, or you don't have to. You can just knot and then turn it right side out and press it, you know, press it flat at some point. You don't even have to do that yet. But then I told you I didn't have anything else at the house but this. I got this on clearance at Joann's, I think. Yeah, Joann's, after Valentine's Day. And I thought I might use it for Christmas or something, but ended up using it for this. So this is all I had, and I'll take and pin it with my pins around the top of my stocking. Just pin it around the top like that. Let me see if I can get a little piece of it to pin like I do. I didn't bring my needle and thread in here, but this will kind of give you some idea. Just stick your little pins in there enough to hold it in place. And then I leave long tails off the back. So I leave my long tails and then I pin, 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 pin. And then I don't knot it yet. I just leave these long tails hanging off the back. And then, so I've got these pieces pinned here all the way around. And then this is, y'all told me about this good thread. This is that, oh, it probably won't with me sitting back here. Let's see if it'll do it like this. This is that Gutermann's Invisible Thread. I got it at Joann's. It looks like fishing string. See, it's just, oh, it may not even show up. It's just a tiny, tiny little clear, and so you don't have to worry about it showing up. And it doesn't tangle too bad. And I just stitched this all the way around. When I got back here, I tied my knot, stitched my knot down, and then came out here and knotted this end, and you're done. You're absolutely done. That's it. That's the end of it. So I hope that helps. Put any questions you have down below. Doing it this way to me was easy. If I had had to cut them out beforehand and sew them up, I could not have done it. I could not have done it because I don't have a skill set to sew something that small with that small a margin of error on there. I just can't. I don't know how to sew that well. So this way, leaving it in the block, so just leave it in the block, and then do your sewing on here. And then do your cutting. But sew with your stitch side up so that you can make sure you don't get off and get onto any of your other stitches. So when I'm going in the machine, I'm going in like this, like this, so I can see that I'm not getting off and getting onto my stitching. So I'm going in under the machine with my stitch side where I can see my webbing onto the back of my stitch side, but I can see where my stitches are, and that way I know that I'm not getting completely off and getting into my stitches. So this has worked great for me so far. I haven't had any problems. Now, of course, that's probably gonna mess me up right there. The rest of these I'll probably sew right through the center of one of them, but we'll see. But I wanted to jump on here and do this real early this morning. The girls should be here soon, and I'm gonna go get Mama. Mama's gonna stay over here with us today. I've been trying to get her sometimes, and then my sister can film her classes and stuff with Mom over here. She won't have to, worry about what Mama's doing or anything. She's been in a bad patch and having some episodes. She had one yesterday, and for some reason she always thinks we're mad at her. Either sister and I's mad at her. Is when she's having a spell, that's where she goes. So I missed a call from her. I don't think I missed a call. Here I don't always get my calls, and it didn't ring and my watch didn't even go off. But I didn't answer, so she thought I was mad at her. So sister called me late last night, but she said her light was already off, so I didn't call her. But she don't ever want us to call the other one because she said, oh, don't tell her that, because she don't want the other one to think we thought she was mad at her. So it's bad, but it's bad for her. It's sad for us, but it's bad for her because I can't imagine that all the time thinking like that. So, but she did write. But she did the same thing again this morning. First thing straight out the box, she called. I woke up and there was a message from her on my phone saying, I'm sorry if I made you mad yesterday. And so I texted sister and I said, sent her a picture of it. I said, is she up over there? And she said, no, the light's still off. So, so she went to bed thinking about it and got up thinking about it, And I got up thinking about it. She sent the message at like 10:45 last night, but she wasn't up yet this morning. But then she called sister first thing this morning. So as soon as sister talked to her, she called me and said, but she said, don't tell you anything, don't say nothing to you because she didn't want you to know she thought you was mad at her. And I said, well, that's fine. I'll be over there to get her in a little bit and I just won't say anything. But she said, I told her, Mom, she's not mad at you. You've had a spell again and you did the right thing by calling and asking and not just thinking we was mad at you. And so, that was the right thing to do. Not worry about it. Just ask and, then we can tell you. So it's heartbreaking. This is horrible. And so I hate it, but we'll have her over here today. And the girls, will amuse her some. She gets tickled at them. They're a hot mess. I wish I could put a video on here of them this week. We finally did family night. We usually do family night once a week, and we haven't been with all this Corona team. But this week, around here, they're easing up restrictions. So we did social distancing, but I had everybody over for dinner. And the girls were playing hide and seek with Keely. And he was hiding in the closet in the pool room and was holding the door shut. And Kimi had found a little, like a wire tie, like a little real thin wire. And she had made me a ring, and I was supposed to be wearing it on my thumb. And she came in here and asked me if she could have it. She said, Sugar, I need to borrow it. I said, okay. I said, what do you need to do? She said, well, I gotta open the lock on this door. I said, okay. And now we have all our wonders about how they know about picking locks, but we ain't even gonna go there. So while they were in here, Kimi and Aria came in here to get the thumb ring wire pick. Keely snuck out the back door and went out. And so then when they ran back that way, he came in the back door and came and sat down right here. Where I'm sitting is where he was sitting eating dinner. Well, then when they got back in there, they just opened the door right up and he wasn't in there. Well, they come running back in here and they said, y'all, he's not in there. We don't know where he's at. We can't figure out where he's at. Well, this is just going on and on. Well, Keely is just sitting here trying to die and can't. He's laughing so hard. And Micah and Justin are dying. We're all just laughing so hard and trying not to. And because Keely is sitting right here and she's literally standing right there. And Aria's standing right beside her. And he's sitting right in front of them. And Micah's going, well, Kimi, what was he wearing? And she said, he has on blue jeans and boots and a blue shirt. And he's sitting right here in blue jeans and boots and a blue shirt. And she's just describing everything he has on to a T. And this goes on for minutes. And finally, Micah says, do you even know what he looks like? And she says, I'm not lying to you. And she says again exactly what he has on. And Micah says, well, then who's this sitting right here? And she looks at him, and y'all, she just falls down on the floor. Just dead. Just falls down the floor dead. It was so funny. So they're hilarious. They're just a hot mess. So it'll tickle Mama to, be here with them today, and it'll be a different something to look at too, because, she's not getting out or anything because of the, isolation and stuff. So it'll be something different for her too. So I'm gonna jump off here. If you have any questions or problems, put them below. I have not hit the questions and comments from Friday's video. I will get on that today with Mom here. I will get her to help me go through the comments and everything. That'll probably tickle her too. And we'll go through those today. I haven't done that. So I will get on those today. And if you have any questions or comments or problems with this, let me know. I hope it helps some. Y'all have a great day and enjoy all your stitching. And I will see y'all probably on Friday. Bye.